MLB.com's Anthony DiComo. And Anthony, how was Scherzer really influenced deGrom so far in spring training in your eyes?
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of ways that we're not seeing. One thing that I thought was very, very interesting coming out of that game yesterday was deGrom talking about how Max Scherzer kind of said, hey, why don't you throw this curveball that you never throw a little more and see how it goes in spring training? And so deGrom did just that. You saw him throw 3 in a row yesterday during the game. He threw 4 all of last season just to show you where those numbers are at. But this is not about the curveball itself to me. This is about Jacob deGrom listening to Max Scherzer, a guy who has succeeded into his mid to late 30s, a guy who has done it well and done it by evolving. And this is Jacob deGrom saying to himself, well, hey, this is how this guy has done it. I don't have to do it exactly the same way, but I need to be open to these sorts of ideas. So he has talked about the curveball this spring. He has talked about dialing back his velocity just a little bit. And I think it's an acknowledgement that he's going to have to change some things if he wants to continue to be super effective into his own late 30s. He sees how Max Scherzer is doing it, and that's kind of the model, the blueprint right now in front of him so that he can do the same thing.
Yeah, I thought the curveball yesterday was so interesting. I was on the call, and I noticed that he threw a couple in a row, 3 in a row. And I said at the time, usually a curveball by Jacob is followed with a smile. And it was, because it's almost like, hey, I'm just going to toy with the guy right here. I don't really care. It's spring training. Even during the season when he throws one, he almost has a coy smile. But I think the point is Max is pushing him to get out of his comfort zone. I think he will also try to push him to maybe use the inside part of the plate more than he has in the past, because he can be so effective in there. Jake stays 80% on the outside corner. He might be able to go in there. You saw Max. He doesn't mind going up and in and drilling guys, even in spring training. That kind of intensity, that kind of aggressiveness is something that I think can only rub off in a positive way on the other guys on that staff.
Yeah, Todd, that's the point I was going to make. I think in that respect, is certainly and it's amazing that deGrom could be that successful, that dominant, when he stays on one side of the plate without, ever moving guys off the plate. And maybe Scherzer can convince him, just move guys off occasionally. That gives you even more room to work and keeps them from jumping out there. Because we have seen at times guys go out there and hit balls the other way against deGrom, and maybe he can even get that to stop a little bit. But I just think that hyper-intensity, that hyper-competitiveness can't be anything but good for deGrom season.